Hey, y'all. Let's see who is around. Let me make sure my mic and stuff is on. Y'all know I'll just jump in and start talking. It is Talk to Tameka Tuesday, I believe. I think that's why I'm on here. I'm in here with this trying to figure out um, what in the world is going on this on these properties. So hopefully you guys are having a great Tuesday. It's always at the beginning of the month. It is crazy, crazy, crazy busy, right? So that is no lie how crazy it is. So I've had already two consults today with you guys. I don't know who might be on here or not, but just narrowing down some of your questions and things like that, which I always think is really good because sometimes I do talk in general terms and you might not know how that applies to you. So some of those things include when I talk about having a niche for your business and then having a niche for your investments and what that for your personal investments and what that is and what that looks like. So some of those things are sometimes really good to start narrowing down. But that was a question for some of the Compass ladies and the people who are over in Compass. So you guys know I've been in Charlotte. We started the tour. And the $100 million tour, when we came up with it, it was really about getting in front of people and helping people move along in the process of investing. So not just talking about investing. You sometimes have to push people. You sometimes have to help them move their feet and figuring out how to get there and what to do. So that's why when we developed the tour, we wanted it to do two things, which was put properties and opportunities in front of people. And of course, in order to do that, you have to, one, have the strongest team of people that you can get. Because the key here, guys, is when you are partnering with anybody, then you have to make sure that their values and stuff and beliefs line up with yours, or the partnership is just not going to be a good partnership. So as you guys could see in Charlotte, is that the people who were on tour in Charlotte and the people who were bringing in front of you guys, they're not necessarily full-time career type speakers where they're going to do all this. They're traveling nationally, like you see a lot of those groups who have thousands of people in a room and then they're selling you on a $15,000 product, right? That goal is really not designed, and those programs are not really designed to kind of educate at the same time at those levels, because when you're dealing with the masses, it's about production and marketing and all that kind of stuff. And conferences are expensive. So we're not making money on conferences or anything like that. This is truly an educational piece. And we did these 3 conferences, guys, so that we could connect with more of the members who are in our groups and really start to build those from social media to in-person relationships so that those people in those groups can become partners as well. So some of you might know for example, we just brought some property in Dominican Republic, and then we're doing some stuff as a group in Ghana and other stuff like that. Well, some of these people have never met each other. So because of COVID and all these other things, so these conferences can serve as getting to know the people who are in the groups. And so those are some of the amazing things that are happening. And so that's one thing. And then the second thing is that we want to introduce different niches and have the experts and the people who are doing them on a day-to-day basis in front of you guys so that it can help you decide on what niches don't fit you. because it's even more important that you figure out early on what niches I don't want versus, trying to wait 5 years to, test all these things out, because time is of the essence. And I'll say that because if you look back over the last 20 years, what were you doing? And how fast did that 20 years go by? So if you are now figuring out, hey, I got to get going, that the next 5 years are going to move just as fast, if not quicker. So that's our purpose of saying, well, let's get Ebony out here to talk about wholesaling. Let's get Maisha out to talk about property management. Let's get Toya out to talk about fix and flip and all these other kind of things. We'll get Tony to talk about short sales, development. And that way people can say, yeah, no, that's not for me. Or, yeah, I want to do more of that. So the more niches get in front of you, the more things, and you can ask those questions, the less opportunity you guys have to have this shiny object syndrome thing that you guys do a lot, which is, for those who haven't done any research on it, it's like, hey, this is over here, I'm going to go try and do that. Oh, I'm interested in that. The reason why you're interested in all of these things is because you haven't identified your particular niche or your purpose for being in that particular space for your investment side or for your business side. So the quicker you can do that, the better. So today, I've got lots of stuff going on, right? But what I wanted to you guys to do is, because of the technology, I looked back and I was like, gosh, what technology has done for entrepreneurs and businesses is amazing, in the fact that you can operate from anywhere. So now is the time, guys, to start identifying and putting systems and things in place, if you've already identified your niche, so that you could be more mobile, so that you can enjoy this thing called life. It's really not designed, even though we feel like it, because what's happening is the separation of classes is forcing folks to be more robotic in everything that they're doing. So in robotic, I mean, you get up, you're going to have to go to your 9 to 5. When you get off that 9 to 5, you're probably going to have to go to a 6 to 10 in order just to make ends meet. If you have one person in a household, they probably have one full-time job and a side hustle, or 2 jobs or 3 jobs between 2 parents. And so and so the only time I'm seeing is that people are going, oh, I'll just go on vacation once a year and spend time. Gosh, that's a whole lot of time you're spending doing everything else and not enjoying life. So I want to today focus on some of those things that people can do from wherever they are and create business and opportunities that allow you to work, make a very good living, but you can do it from anywhere. And so when I look out at what kinds of businesses are out there to support what other businesses or whatever it is, what's going to support over the next 10 years, what's happening in the market, what's going on for entrepreneurs to kind of get their hands around. And so I figured I better do these in segments, because there's a lot, but I don't have a lot of time, because right after this, I've got to do and work on meet with the Compass group, the Compass mentees who've already started on a lot of them have started on their acquisition of their properties, their first property. So let's go. One of the things that, and I can already tell you, when I normally put something out there, it's normally because I have something coming up or somewhere I can send you to. But there is a lot of conversation, and there will be a lot of conversation about virtual assistants. Okay. So if you guys have any skill set in organization, keeping things, and I'll say this for not just the VA of administrative services or virtual assistants, but think about other things outside of that allow you to still help a company, and look at your own skill set. What is it that you do that you can bring to the table? So are you good at organizing? Are you good at research? I'm looking at my team and going, I really need a strong person who can research and then follow through on this, right? So on my team, I'll say, well, I don't have an admin who can do that part, but I'll assign this to Daniel for right now until I can find a virtual person who that's their niche. And so when I have to get really deep into research and things like that, and then the next step is to go to the property, then a lot of times I have to send a person to it. But if they've already got all of the information that I need, then that visit can be done by anybody to get the pictures and things like that. So a perfect example of that, guys, is we're working on development project in Ghana, right? So I may say, well, I've started this project. I've gotten the information. I got this information from this developer over here. And because I'm serving as a sub-developer in this space, and my role for this particular project is on the financing side. Okay, I'm gonna get all the financing and then do the crowdfunding or whatever it is. Well, I can do all of that from here. And now that I have a conflict of the trip that they're going on to view the property, I can't go right now. I'm gonna send Daniel over to Ghana to do the rest of the research. So it's not that I needed to physically go and do either of these pieces, but I do need to find and hire those kind of pieces. So again, guys, what is your niche and what you personally are good at? Like, what are you personally good at? Are you good at finding properties online? Are you good at keeping up? Can you run Microsoft Word, well, PowerPoints, all of those kind of things, tech stuff? Because I'm going to tell you, there are more and more people who need virtual assistants to support their businesses. And if you have that kind of background or skill set, don't overlook that opportunity to get into and be able to work from home or from the beach or from wherever you want to be, to make that happen. So one of the things, so again, that's one, as a virtual assistant in any kind of way. Now, I was laughing today, right before I got on with you guys, is because you guys know, if you know Toya in the groups, she's out looking at houses, right? So her niche is fix and flips. Her niche is not technology. Like she's, okay, I'll take pictures. I'm like, Toya, did you get pictures of the house? Oh yeah. I'm like, can you send them to me? 2 days. And she's like, oh yeah, I got them in my phone. I'm like, well, send them, share them on Facebook. So someone like her needs the assistance and the tech side of, how do I put this up there? How do I go live and do these things? Because you have people who are really good at what they do, and they are not interested or haven't gotten there yet to what needs to happen online and on that. So maybe you want to be a social media manager for someone. Guys, it's a huge market for everything, including still blogging. People still need bloggers. I never forget, I paid a lady, and once I found out where she was, to take all of my articles that I wrote and put them into different sections so that I can use them. And so she separated them and tagged them and all kind of stuff. And I said, well, where are you? She says, actually, I live on a boat with my husband. So this is all I do, is I just, maneuver content for people. And I found her on guru.com, GURU.com. So if you're a person who writes, there's all kinds of work and things like that you can do from anywhere. So guys, check out guru.com, those freelancer groups, and you can kind of see what people are doing. And they also list what they're being paid too. So if you get caught on, I don't know what I'm going to be paid on, that's something else. So after that, that's moving us right into my second one that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because you should have seen a post if you have already pre-registered for our conference at Teach at the Beach. Is normally we do I normally do every 2 years an instructor development workshop, which is normally 2 days. Sometimes I do it in a day. And at that workshop is where I will qualify instructors for NAR, for the National Association of Realtors. And so this year, with all of the changes and things like that, and now with so much going online, I have decided to partner and bring the instructor development course to Teach at the Beach. So that will be it's a pre-conference day. So that Wednesday, where normally we have a reception going on, that full day will be all about instructor development and how to get contracts and how to get paid and how to be an instructor. And I'm teaching also. So I'll be teaching from the side of how do you get a contract with NAR? Because most people are like, what? And so some of you here, I've helped you get your contracts with NAR. And some people, even when they get the contracts with NAR, they don't know how to utilize them. Like they don't know how to then go from, okay, I got the contract to now, how do I make money? Or how do I make this 6-figure income? Like I see instructors all the time, like fighting to get into this association or that, or they get in and they don't know how to make this a 6-figure income, and then they can pretty much work from anywhere. Again, so instructors, as you guys already know, it's different than a coach. It's different than a trainer. The education portions of being an instructor is different. What products do you have? How do you sell from the front of the room? How do you sell online? How do you get people online? All of those kind of things. It's, it's not something you just wake up and learn. Like how many PowerPoint slides should you have? What should be the font sizes on them? Adult education, guys, is nothing to be played with. And a lot of people aren't doing it well because they weren't really taught how to be an instructor, or they just said, I'm going to go on because I see other people doing YouTube videos and I'll just go on there and talk about a couple of things. Yeah, that's folks talking about that. That's not the same as being an instructor who has a contract with the National Association of Realtors or with local associations or even state associations. Two totally different things. And that is not even jumping into the space of I'm a public speaker doing a keynote address. That's different than still being an instructor. And then the other part of that instructor piece, guys, is for that particular day, we're bringing in schools so that the folks who are in that particular workshop, if they want to apply right then for a job, they can. So you guys already know I'm getting right to the beef. You want the information, here's the information. This is how you get hired. And here's your interview if you want to do it just that quick. So that's coming up, guys. So that's another thing. Like if right now I could just go to the beach and just be a full-time instructor and really sit at the beach and do that all day and then decide on which trainings I wanted to travel for and which ones I just wanted to sit at the beach and do, because all of the associations for the most part, and for me, the good thing for me was that before COVID hit, the Real Estate House Academy was the first school in the state of Missouri, which is my school, who was approved to do CE online. Like before any of the big schools, just so that you guys know, yes, I'm going to toot my horn because folks don't always understand the importance of what you're doing and what you're putting out there. They may see other people doing it later and think they started or something. So I'm going to do that. So it's on record. The Real Estate House Academy, the licensed school in Missouri, was the first to get approved for putting a CE class online. And so what does that look like for you if you're wanting to be an instructor and not leave your house? Or maybe you want to leave it and not really, or do it from someplace else or whatever it is, and you just want the freedom. There were times, guys, I'd be on a cruise and still host a class. And there's so many other things that good things about that. But I know I have to get going, so we can't go too deep into those. So the first one was VAs, virtual assistants, and all kind of things behind that. The second one are instructors, right? That's another niche that you can build and then build out and do from anywhere. So you can do that and then go as far as creating a school or just being on working for 5 or 6 schools if you want. And that way they just pay you to show up and do the class and you don't have to do any marketing. So that's another thing. Other one you guys always hear me talk about is the commercial lending, because just like VAs, instructors, commercial lending isn't going anywhere. People need money, and I'm not seeing enough people who are in that space who have niched down what kinds of funds are out there. Like I always see people like, oh yeah, I need fix and flip fund money and that kind of stuff. But there are so many other niches out there that people aren't narrowing down. Mezzanine funding, funding for truck drivers, funding for all this kind of stuff. And there are a lot of banks who are trying to give monies out, but because they don't have big marketing budgets. So think about your local banks who have money, and the only way banks make money, guys, is if they lend money. They have to lend money to make money. Okay. So if again, there is room in that market for people who want to focus though, not people who want to do some commercial lending on the side and then they want to do this over here and they want to do this over here. Again, if you aren't going to focus, it's not the space for you. Just like today, if you were in my wing group and I asked people about the hotel thing, and people are like, oh yeah, I want to do a little bit of that hotel industry. That's not about doing 5 different things and then you're going to do hotel on the side. No, 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 no. Hotel investing and flipping and assigning of those contracts, that's an all day thing. It's got to be ingrained. You really want to do this. You love it. You're already wanting to volunteer. You're already in volunteering. You're doing property management. You may have already worked in a hotel. You love this kind of stuff. That's what I mean when I'm saying the people who are looking at this niche, they don't want to do anything else but that. So that's what I mean about narrowing down this commercial lending. You know how many people I know who have taken the commercial lending piece, but they are doing 15 other things? They're not going to be successful or as successful as a person that's all they do. So if all you do is go find funding for developers, then the bag chases you. One developer tells another developer that that's the person who can find them funding for the development project. That's what's going on here. So as we start to move through some of the last 2 conference dates, you'll hear me talking about how to find value for those developers. And you're going to hear commercial lending come back up again because of that very reasons. Because here you go, guys. When we move from commercial lending, and now my 4th one is international sales. Even in international sales, people need lending. Surprise. So if you could think of whatever it is, people always need money. So I'm going to leave commercial lending there for a minute. But that's the 3rd one. And then the 4th one we're talking right now about is international sales. Now, some of you are already signed up for the webinar that Cheryl's coming in to talk about. I want you guys to keep in mind that how international sales can work. And so I'm going to give you a scenario, because I realize that in Charlotte, I'm sometimes talking to you guys and y'all just talking and I'm going around talking with me. And then maybe y'all had a whole bunch of other stuff going on, but then you come back later. It's like, I didn't quite understand how that all worked. So I'm going to put down how some of these can connect if you're in international sales. And so I want you guys to post any questions you have here, because I want to answer some of your questions before I have to go, if you have any. So I'm going to look over here and don't see much over here before I do this example. Yes, truck drivers is huge. It's a huge business. They need money for trucks. And I'm like, why are people, if that's their thing, like my brother-in-law, he's been driving trucks for probably 50 years now. And, so yeah, it's just one of those things that's out there. Someone says, I don't want the niche. I want to be connected to folks that do. Okay, whatever that means, whatever your business is, if that works, that works. So the international sales agent here is, here's what I would do with some, for some of you, who might have this as a niche. Like right now, I see travel agents who are doing group trips. and they're doing all of these other things. Now, if I'm in international sales and I want to be in international sales because I want to, for me, I want to hang out at the beach. And in order to hang out at the beach, in order to make some money, I'll sell real estate. So I'm going to choose a country that I love or a couple of destinations that I love. And then I'm going to team up and with my travel agent buddies, or perhaps I have a travel agent background. And then I'm going to create investment tours where people can come have a good time with their friends, but also take them on an excursion of real estate investing. Okay. So if you are looking in a space where, hey, I want to hang out at the beach, maybe you own a couple of properties yourself, but then extend that so that you can also refer business in or sell it yourself. Like I like to refer all day. So I don't have to do the paperwork. I don't have to do all of those kind of things. I have enough to do that I can just partner with someone and then have them do it. Then what I would add for some people, and we talked about this in Charlotte for some of the folks, I could have under this international sales business timeshares where I am purchasing them for zero and reselling them for 5,000, 6,000, whatever. And I can do all of that online if that's what I wanted to do. Because see, here's the key. A lot of people don't know how to use timeshares, and a lot of people who have used them no longer want them. So if they're giving them away, why not give them away to a person who is in this space of international sales? You just say, hey, these are the ones I'm looking for, and this is my niche, and this is my area. And you'd be surprised at how many people will come to you to buy them and also to sell theirs. So you could be the middle person that is selling that particular thing. But here's the thing of when you guys do this, you can't then say, hey, let's say I am the international sales specialist for Puerto Rico. And so, I'm doing this. And then you turn around and it's like, oh yeah, and I'm doing commercial trucking, leasing, and I'm selling lipstick. And you're going to have to pick a hustle. You're gonna have to choose one in order for this bag to chase you at the rate that it needs to chase you so you can do whatever. Now, some people are never going to commit to doing one thing because they really have in their head that they need to be doing 25 things. And again, if you're doing 25 things and you don't have processes and systems in place that can run without you, you don't have a business. You have a job. And if you get sick and have to lay up for a month, all of those side hustles are not operating without you doing something. So make sure you guys keep that in mind, that those things that you're used to doing, that people, are used to empowering you guys to do, don't get caught up in that. So as a part of that ISA, that international salesperson, you may also have a link to a travel business, or maybe that's one of your pieces that ties into that. You also have sales. So you have real estate sales that are in there, like a condo sale, a home sale, because you're referring. You also have commercial business that's in there because some of us, like I know every time I go somewhere, Panama City Beach or whatever, I have investors who want to invest in that city also. Like they want the business there. So they are extending their business into other cities. So that might be what you're able to do, which is why a lot of people will go to Florida and operate their business several months there. And so they get both tax write-offs and living there 6 months, all kinds of things that allow you to do that. And then, of course, don't forget about the rentals. You have rentals of managing Airbnbs or rentals of your own. There's so many pieces within being an international sales agent or being a commercial lender, instructors, VAs, that you don't need to have 25 other things going on when you can focus on one of those niches and build those out. So you will see that within, especially the tours and things like that we have going on. I'm going to start putting down more checklists and more to-dos and more takeaways and slowing down to say, hey, connect the dots here so that you don't have to run and find all this other stuff. It really is about enjoying life, guys. It's about making money, of course. We're always going to be doing that. If you are just now figuring out that you don't have enough money to retire and you need assets, uh, you still have to have income coming in, right? You want to have income coming in. So at least make the income something you enjoy doing, and then take that income and invest it into your personal properties or whatever it is. And hopefully a lot of that stuff just becomes to go hand in hand. So, oh yeah, someone said now is a great time to buy businesses. Oh God, whoever is this, you have never lied. I am right now looking at 3 businesses to purchase. And one is the worst investor that I ever worked with. You guys know who that is? Yes, that's my husband. He's got one. And he sends it to me. He's like, yeah, can you do the research on this pharmaceutical? No, I can't, because the to-do list that I gave you is not done. So he's looking at one. KJ's looking at one. Yeah, so absolutely great time to buy businesses. And the one thing I will tell you guys is the businesses I like to buy, and so this is something for you guys to be looking at, the businesses that, if you have businesses, you want to get them ready to in a position so they can be purchased. Yes, we will be going into that, but not right now, because I've got these tours to finish and some other things I got to get done. But that's going to be a special program kind of information session or whatever is out there, because not everybody's ready for that. But you have to be in position to be able to sell your business. So the businesses I'm liking are the businesses that come with real estate. Makes sense, right? Because I like to buy and hold and build wealth. So if I can have a business that's operating and it has real estate, then I am in it for the long run. I want that business. Hey, Robin, that's you. Great. Someone says, when is the instructor development, a teacher to be? That will be that Wednesday before, I think that's September 8th, Carmine, if Carmine is here. That's one that's there. Let's see, who else is here? Yeah, so that's that Wednesday. Normally, if you've been a teacher at the beach, we normally start full days on Thursday and Friday, and then we tour and do things on Saturday. But we normally don't start until Wednesday night with mixers and things like that. But because this instructor development piece is what we can see is not going anywhere, Zoom, all these other things, and there are lots of people who need to be in that space, we're going to do the full day on Wednesday. So just an FYI, we do have a save a date that's coming out, but it's probably only visible to the folks who already purchased tickets in that group. Carmine may have put it out there already, but just letting you guys know in case those folks are making plans to get to the conference. Let's see, how are you finding these businesses for sale? Sorry, just coming in late. You've already touched on this. No, a lot of the businesses that we're finding for sale are people coming to us. Again, you're in the, whatever business you're in, but there are also some business brokers that are out there. We get messages from them all the time. Remember, guys, when I had said to you guys some time ago that I'm looking and I only really want to do 6 and 7 figure partnerships this year, because that's what I mean. And so when I put that kind of stuff in the universe, it just comes back. So one of the businesses that came to us was really my husband was talking to someone, and they were talking about how they went to pitch their business and the people didn't really like a portion of the business, and we figured we could add value to that. Then that's how we do them. But I'm not opposed to knocking on doors too and saying, hey, I like your business model. Would you consider a partner or to be, bought out. Like a lot of people are building their businesses and then putting them out there. Another way that I come across a lot of businesses is through a lot of my network. Like the guys in Utah, they build businesses to sell them, right? So if you guys know Eddie and stuff like that, that's 80 companies he sold in the last couple of years. He brought all those businesses and sold them. So when you see stuff like that, it's just an opportunity and you jump on it. So guys, I have to run, but a quick recap on the 4 niches that you guys can build from anywhere. Any kind of virtual assistants, anything you can, any administrative type of stuff, technology stuff, operating Zooms or whatever it is from, wherever. That's very helpful for a lot of people right now. Even think about the instructors who are online who need a proctor. So if you're an instructor and you're teaching a 3 or 4 hour class, there normally is a second person to make sure the links are up there, to make sure the breaks are scheduled. Real estate schools require you have to have a staff person on that phone, on that call to monitor to make sure people are going. So all of those things. And I never forget, I remember I created a VA training like years ago, got people certified for proctors and stuff like that, and was working on the instructors. And a lot of people just weren't interested at that time. Fast forward, look where we are now, and everyone needs a proctor or someone that can help in their school. Commercial lending is number 3, and then those international sales agents. Those are 4 that I know right now for the next 5-10 years, there's going to be nothing but business opportunities there. And I don't mean 20, 30, 40, 50,000. And that's why I'm putting it out there, because I know a lot of real estate professionals, a lot of real estate agents who were just burnt out. A lot of business owners who are saying, I just don't want to do this kind of business anymore. I'm going to move into something else, and I don't know exactly what that is. So I'm sharing all of these. So hopefully somebody out there gets it and says, yeah, that's something I can do. I'm going to go research this. And I'll, jump on this bandwagon, and that's something I can do. I can be a great executive assistant to someone, virtually or whatever that is, because that's where we are, guys. 40% of all the workforce, we were already on schedule to hit that sooner than later. And with COVID, you're going to see much, much more people who have to work from home. Trainings have to be done from home. Education has to be done from home. Contracts are being created for business schools and all kind of stuff for people who need to work from home. So I will talk to you guys soon, but I got to go now to get on my 2:00 Central Time meeting with Compass mentees. So if any Compass people are here, we have a 2:00 meeting in 15 minutes. I'll talk to you guys later. It's me, Dot. Have a good one. See you guys at the top.